Hello, travel biz owner. Welcome to my corner of the travel industry, the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to have fun, be inspired, get clarity, and take action in your travel business, then you're in the right place. Let's jump in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the episode. I literally just recorded this episode and was at 7 minutes, and I'm like, I haven't given my people any tangible advice. And so I threw it out and I'm re-recording right now. So I wanted to re-record too because I wanted to make this super special because this is the episode that I'm considering my second podcast anniversary. And man, what a journey that it has been. I really in my first recording, I went through kind of a lot of the background of how the podcast came to be, how I came to be, and the different things that are happening. I'm like, you know what? We just need to do a Cliff's Notes version, Rita, for everybody. So this podcast started in March of 2021 because I wanted to support the travel industry, but I really wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to do that. And I had been having success and I knew the ins and outs of podcasting because I had my own travel business podcast called the Cruise Retreat Podcast. And I was like, you know what? Let's just have conversations with people and put the information out there because it's so useful and it's going to really help people during this still transition period with the C word. And there still hadn't been a lot of forward momentum yet like there is currently. So I initially started and I brought different experts both within and outside of the travel industry to give their unique perspectives, but also offer some incredibly tangible advice that you can utilize and really have some forward momentum in your travel business so that you could take the helm of your travel business. But that's actually what I named the second business, is Take the Helm. So if you didn't know, I do have a second business where I support travel business owners with their marketing efforts in a couple different ways. I could have never imagined how many amazing relationships have been forged and solidified throughout my network. And then also just the amazing feedback that I've gotten from so many of you throughout the years and just words of encouragement that myself and this podcast have been such a huge support to you and your business and a real light in the industry. And that is just so heartwarming and really all that I could have ever wanted because really, I do all of this for you because I want to make this industry the best that it can be. And I feel like in the past, especially a couple of years since I started, and not just from myself, there have been a ton of amazing educators that have come out from everything that happened with COVID to assist you with your travel business. But I feel like we are stronger, we're more connected, there's heck of a lot more quality education that's available for you out there. And I am so honored that I have been able to at least put somewhat of a dent to help you with your own travel businesses. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for constantly listening in or tuning in to different episodes. I would love to know, please head over to the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Facebook group and share with me what have been some of your favorite episodes. Make sure that you share this episode or this podcast out with some of your friends. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are on your iPhone device, if you could just go ahead, look at your iPhone, go back to your iPod, your little Apple Play or whatever it is. I'm not an Apple person. So go to your little thingy. And if you're on Android, go to your little podcast where you're listening to the podcast and go ahead and rate this podcast real quick and give me a little review. Rita has been so helpful in my travel business with this podcast. Thank you, Rita. You don't have to say it like that, but whatever has been your biggest takeaway or one of your favorite episodes, please go ahead, leave me a rating and review so that this podcast can be shared to other business owners who are needing the forward momentum in their businesses like you all are. And so, enough of me like getting a little nostalgic and me all up in my feels. Like, I am so grateful to really have this platform, share all my experiences. We have like super grown this podcast. It's not where I want it to be totally, but we are getting in that direction. And it has a lot to do with, I guess, what we're talking about today, which is the secret, in quotation marks, to social media. And I'm not sure how in depth we'll go today, but the secret that nobody is telling you to having success on social media is to also be doing things off of social media. Sorry, I laugh at that because it's such a, I guess, on the nose, but also like, what are you telling me, Rita? You're telling me to be successful on social media, I have to be successful outside of social media? Yes. And not necessarily at the same time, so I run a marketing membership. So if you are interested in DIYing your marketing efforts / not ready to hire someone out to fully do your marketing, then you should join Marketing Business School, because I have monthly master classes, and March's monthly masterclass was about just that, searching for visibility opportunities. And I discussed very briefly in that masterclass that part of the secret, like, you're seeing that a lot of people are like super successful on social media, but a lot of it has to do, especially if you're in business, I'm not talking about the influencers, something totally different. But a lot of business owners who have been successful and they're being like, oh yes, I made this much money, or I have this many follows and all that. If you look at what they do, they're probably in marketing. And I say that because they're saying like that they've gone viral, teaching you how to use a platform on the platform that you're currently watching whatever content it is. It's kind of like, it's almost like very meta. But there's also what somebody that I follow on social media had mentioned is platform bias. And that means that, of course, if somebody's teaching you how to use Instagram on Instagram, their views and their reach and their conversions are going to be higher, because that is what so many people are wanting to do on Instagram as they watch this thing on Instagram. It's like super meta. And not saying that it can't work for you, but there are other things that you have to do in order to truly be successful on social media. And the biggest thing I feel, at least like what I would specifically say is the main reason towards my success in this second business, but also my success within this podcast, is really relationships and building relationships with other people. Not only that, like having some sort of rapport in the relationship, but also putting myself out there multiple times and saying like, hey, I offer these marketing services. If you're ever in need, like, please reach out to me. But not only that, but also putting myself out there. And if there are people that are searching for the things that I do in the second business, that I am applying for it or starting some sort of conversation. So relationships lead to opportunities on OPP, other people's platforms. I wish I could say that I created that OPP, but I did not create it. Somebody else on the internet created it. But the general concept is that you can grow faster through other people and being on other people's platforms. So again, like super meta, you'll notice that I have a lot of guests here on the podcast. That is for a couple different reasons. One of those reasons is because I want to provide quality education to you. I know that I am not the be-all, end-all, nor should I be. There shouldn't ever be one person that's the be-all, end-all educator for everybody. So just putting that out there. So I am not the be-all, end-all. So I know that I need to get other people who are more attuned, specifically, to things when we talk about workflows and systems. That is not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is the creative, the fun stuff. I mean, for the workflow people, doing workflows and processes is super fun. And once the workflow and process is done, I find that it is fun. But kind of the process of doing it is I don't know about that. I would much rather take beautiful photos, take beautiful videos, put that together, write beautiful copy, put it together and help you sell via your marketing channels. And so, because that is my focus, those are the things that I will be talking about, speaking on this podcast. And because marketing is not the only thing in your business and there's lots of other different things that are in your business, I bring experts that will complement that and help you out. So that helps me open myself up to their own audience of people that may not have known about me previously. That opens visibility up to new eyeballs. Maybe somebody that hasn't listened to the podcast and is within the travel industry starts to listen, starts to subscribe, take some of the advice from whoever is giving some of the advice. So that is, and if we're breaking it down, visibility really is getting eyeballs on you and your business. And so I'm mentioning this too to say, if we're looking at the marketing matrix, meet, connect, convert, reconnect. Social media is in that middle portion in the whole. I would even say it's at the last portion. So it's not number one. Social media is 2, 3, 4, because you're building a relationship with people on social media. Can it be used to meet people on social media? It certainly can, but not in the way that you're thinking. Not in the way that you're thinking okay, my post is going to go out there and so many people are going to like it. Generally, and I'm speaking on certain platforms because not all platforms. So, and that's you have to take into consideration the platforms that you're on. If the platform that you're on is operating like a search engine, kind of like YouTube is, I would say even TikTok is like that. And then a little bit of LinkedIn is similar to that. You have the opportunity to have new eyeballs from that. But if you're primarily doing content on Facebook and Instagram, there is a very low percentage that new eyeballs are going to see your content just because those platforms, their algorithms don't operate in that way. Their algorithms operate in the way that the people that you are following is the content that you're going to see. Sometimes it suggests things to you, but for the most part, it does not. Which is why I personally have been trying to focus a lot more of my attention to YouTube, LinkedIn, but also Google Business Profile. So I say that to kind of give you just a foundation of what social media is and what social media is not. And I feel that really is what the secret of social media is that you think you're going to be able to get so many clients, but social media is not a way generally to meet new clients. Can it happen? Yes, but you have to be more proactive than just putting posts out there and waiting for people to call you. That is not enough. And I also say this from personal experience because that is what I had been doing for so long, because that's what all the gurus and main people were doing. Just post, just send an email and the people will come along. No, you have to nurture that relationship, but above nurturing that relationship, you need to get people to meet you, to see that you exist, that your business exists. Your business does not exist if nobody knows about you. And so that is part of why I do these partnerships on the podcast for this business specifically, because it gets new eyeballs to learn about the podcast, to learn about what I do. I have also been doing a lot of partnerships with different organizations, such as Host Agency Reviews. If you were at Host Week, you saw my presentation on client attraction on LinkedIn. I have also done a similar presentation for the Travel Institute. I have also done some partnerships with Ama Waterways about utilizing storytelling in your content. And I will be teaching fellow travel business owners how to create a year's worth of content from one river cruise fam when I sail with them shortly. So those types of partnerships and collaborations get me in front of new people who may not have heard of me before. It could be because they've been in the industry and I'm in a little corner, little section of the industry. So I obviously don't know everybody in the industry, but I do know some key people, and I have had some referrals from some of those key people. But that's what those things help me do. I will say that, like, if you look at my vanity metrics, which I will also say is not an accurate measure of like success in your business, because I have less than 500 followers on Facebook and less than 500 followers on Instagram, but I have made 5 figures in income to sustain myself and me paying all my bills, with just less than 500 people on both of those platforms. Meaning that for me, relationship marketing, aka having relationships, building relationships, nurturing relationships, is more important than the things that I do on social media. Do the things I do on social media help? Yeah, because I like to post different educational things here and there, and I do need to get back into it. But it is not the be-all, end-all. I do not rely on social media to make me money. I repeat, I do not rely on social media to make me money, but I do rely on social media to keep me connected with my buddies. I will say, not only to keep me connected with my buddies, but also to reach out to new people, because that's the way that a lot of us work. Like, it's not necessarily that I'm going to somebody's website to find their email address to message them. I'm going on your Instagram account and I'm being like, hey, I think you're really cool. What you do is really cool, and I want to have you on the podcast. And you start forming some relationship from there. So that's what I'm saying, that there's certain tools that are helpful in social media, but it's not what you're thinking it is. So I've talked a little bit about, having those collaborations with different interviews on podcasts, and then also me being on other people's platforms to showcase myself and showcase my expertise, the different partnerships that I've had. That also is in combination with the different speaking opportunities that I have. And I feel like having a podcast has helped me improve my public speaking, because if you listened in on my first ever podcast interview, which happened to be on Travel Agent Chatter, oh gosh, from Host Agency Reviews, boy was I rusty. I will go ahead and I will link it up in the comments so that you can see the evolution of Rita. Because I believe I recorded that with Steph Lee from Host Agency Reviews maybe like June-ish 2020 or July-ish 2020. And so you can see the difference 2.5, almost 3 years makes. But that's because I am constantly having conversations with people, becoming more comfortable, learning new techniques even, and improving the different software and the tech and the different things that I use, because I really want to hone in on this craft and what I do to really support you in the business. And really that is by uncovering a lot of like these so-called secrets. It's not really a secret. It's just that nobody's really talking about these types of things. And so I want to bring them to the forefront, that really it is these things that have a human element. It's not the lead magnet on your website. It's not the technical this, the technical that. It really is the relationships that you have with people, and they can only be further aided through social media, because I might meet someone in real life and then I might have a relationship with them, but if I go to their social media, it just seems like something's off if their social media isn't like up to date or all that. So, and speaking from personal, I have been a little bit behind on my own social media. I have told my clients, I've been joking with my clients a lot recently, I need a Rita for Rita, because I need somebody to take care of my marketing, because I am so busy marketing the different brands and businesses that I work with now. Alrighty, so I think I have gone a little bit into nostalgia territory, but also a bit into the secrets of social media and what you should really be focusing on. I'm not saying to dump social media entirely. I'm just saying if you are having a problem with visibility and client attraction, you should join Marketing Business School so you can listen in on that masterclass. But you should also start looking at different avenues that you can get on other people's platforms, improve your speaking, so that you can get in front of new people who may not have known you before. But also, it's not only helping you out with your business, but it is also helping out another business owner with their business, especially if you're doing now these little collaborations and partnerships. You're offering value, but they are offering value too. So it really is a win-win situation. All right, thank you so much for being here again. Loving on the podcast throughout all the years. I say it because that, like, it's been so many years. Onwards and upwards, really. I have gotten to the position that a lot of people are pitching me to be on the podcast. So I'm having to go through the pitches to see how legit, and there's one I'm super, super excited about coming in the future. But again, it's very important that the quality of content that I bring out to you is that quality content and not just some other guru trying to make some extra money, make a buck here or two. So I really do filter the things that are coming on here, and I hope you do appreciate that. But you have a fantabulous week, and stay tuned to my episode next week on what coaching is and what it isn't. Bye. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. Remember to check out the show notes for all relevant links and resources from today's show. See you next time.